All right, let's start with some. Well, it seems like we start with negative news every week now.
Well, yeah.
We tend to start with the business-oriented news, and it seems like it only becomes news when it's something that's...
Okay, that makes sense.
You know
or an
what I mean?
acquisition or something.
Yeah, right.
Well, we had mentioned that Fun Again Logistics was closing down several weeks ago. They were delivering Kickstarter. Well, now funagain.com is closing. Now, they are not closing their 2 stores.
They're brick-and-mortar stores, yeah.
They're brick-and-mortar stores, which are up in Oregon, Ashland, and Eugene.
Oh, okay. That's not so... Okay, so their online presence is going away.
Right, and their distribution aspect, right?
But there are 2 physical stores that will march on.
That's
Where is this again?
Oregon.
Can we take the van?
We can. Is that worth the money? We spent $2,000 to get here. We saved $50 on games.
That's right. We'll call it Vanagon.
Van again? We're doing that. With that title like that, it can't fail.
That's right.
So anyhow, Fun Again was one of the first sponsors of the Dice Tower podcast way back in the day.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And, well, things move on.
Yeah, it's too bad to see them go. It's a store that definitely was around for a long, long time.
The online store, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those oldies but goodies.
Glad to hear that their brick and mortar's still there, though.
All right, guys, but if you were worried that there wasn't enough zombicide in the world,
I was, okay? I love me some zombicide.
and you thought, what else can they do? The answer is Game of Thrones. Snow
Yes.
and zombicide White Death.
Definitely not the White Walkers here.
Did you see? Like I read an article yesterday that one of the designers posted was their first designer diary.
Okay.
So a couple of things. One, I'm actually excited that this is a return to what they call zombicide fantasy.
Right.
Which is the umbrella under which
Black
Black
Death,
Plague,
yeah.
Green Horde, the fantasy ones. Medieval,
Right.
fantasy, what have you.
Right.
So it's very cool. It sounds like there's some interesting things going on. It sounds like they're doing this sort of, you're trapped here anyway, you can't really escape, so you have to defend this place. So it sounds like there might be a little bit more of a castle defense type feel to this.
Okay.
And then immediately they show a couple of the survivors, and they went for anthropomorphic animals on this one.
What?
It is legit. I wish we had the pictures. I didn't realize this was coming up here. It is legit. The body of medieval dude in the armor and the sword with the head of a tiger, with the head of a wolf. I kid you not. Came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that.
None of the Zombicide games do that, right? I mean, this is not even when they had their weird...
All right. When Zee's right, he's right.
Well, you just clicked away from... Oh, geez. Wow.
Yeah, it's just like... Wow.
Well, there's humans in there, too.
Which is somehow, stranger?
Yeah, it is.
What?
That is very bizarre.
I really don't understand. I don't get that move.
I don't either. We're always looking for pictures. You can...
That last one at the end is the one I saw. The cat dude and the wolf person.
That one works.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
You can drop this in on top.
Put it up in there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that was weird. I mean, again, I'm all in on some White Death. I like the fantasy stuff. Plus, they've had quite a few updates to the system since Green Horde came out, which was the last one in this, and a couple of other, expansions to Green Horde. So I'm psyched for them to go back with some new iterations, some new ideas. I just thought the anthropomorphic thing was a weird move.
That's very odd.
I wasn't expecting this.
I'm not as... I thought they kind of fully explored the fantasy with Black Death and Green Horde.
Oh, you're like, I'm done? No,
To be fair, I'm looking forward to a new Marvel United. So,
yeah.
what do I know?
No, I'm into it. I'm into it.
That's not the only Zombicide news, though.
What?
That's
For
right.
Zombicide 2, we have Rio De Janeiro.
This is just for you, Z.
I'm all about it. How didn't this come out already? No.
This, I think, might have been part of the scenario, but now it's coming out to stores. This is going into the stores.
Okay,
Campaign
because I know when
this was part of the last expansion.
Yeah, when Zombicide 2nd Edition came out, there were 2 campaigns.
Look, the only reason it's in the news is because it's called Rio De Janeiro.
That's right.
We'll put it in every single time.
Yeah, I expect it to happen. Plus, look at that cover.
All right.
Zambies.
Speaking of covers, we have the 2 new covers for some of the old games that Renegade has picked up, some of the old Hasbro games. We already knew they had Axis and Allies.
Oh, wow.
Now they got Acquire and Robo Rally.
The tale of 2 covers.
It really is a tale of 2 colors. Now, I want to say, first of all, I'm glad Renegade is bringing these back.
Sure.
Renegade has good production values, so I look forward to seeing the production values of these games. I'm also happy that it seems like they're not messing with the games very much, which really matters, well, honestly, with both of these. Although Robo Rally, it would behoove them to not even include the 4 board maps. Like, why even torture people by putting those anyway?
Yeah.
However, that Acquire cover
great.
looks fantastic.
That's a really, really nice looking
Robo
cover.
Rally cover, the Acquire cover looks fantastic. I don't like the Robo Rally cover.
What happened there? I mean, the Acquire one's classy. It makes sense. It's a small twist on the previous one. The Robo Rally is somehow like the old cover, but worse. Doesn't
that look very mass market?
It looks like that robot rocket on his feet. What is that?
It looks like 1980s Toys R Us cover. You know what I mean? It's not a bad cover. It's just uninspiring. Whereas that Acquire cover is beautiful.
Well, I don't think the art on the Robo Rally matches the font.
Yeah.
It's like Robo Rally. Also, woo-hoo-hoo!
I'm just saying, that looks like that TV is trying to sell me Twizzlers. Look at it. It looks like a weird TV with sneakers or something. I don't like
Roy
the way
loves
it
the
doesn't
cover.
look robot-y.
The 7-Up dot is around the corner, ready to
right.
join in the action.
Yeah. It looks like a mascot or something.
Anyway, the good news is, though, the games are coming back in print.
Right.
That's cool.
And you can pre-order them now. I don't know when they're coming out.
Okay.
All right. A new game here, General Orders World War II. That's not a very inspired name, but what's cool about this is from Osprey Games and from David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin, who are becoming one of the more renowned duos, especially with lighter war games or war-like games.
Yeah, games with a war theme that are being accepted more by the Euro and general gaming community. Things like Undaunted, for example, would be kind of the big thing. And this is, I think, a 2-player worker placement game.
Yeah. It's like a tug-of-war control over a crucial World War II battlefield in the mountains of Italy or the islands of the Pacific. And so you're just...
Sounds a little bit like Blitzkrieg.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about this.
Yeah.
It sounds really fun.
With this design duo, I'm very interested in seeing what they're going to do.
That's true. I don't know if I've ever played any game from these guys that I dislike.
Right.
I haven't played any of the Undaunted games,
okay. Yeah, I think you should check it out.
But I've heard very good things, yeah.
Well, the newest one is just, people are raving about Stalingrad, and Battle for Britain looks good too.
Okay.
All right, Angel Share. This is a new Scott Alms game
from Spielworks.
Yeah. So he makes small games, mostly the Tiny Epic games.
Yeah, but
he's made a few big ones like, Heroes of Went There and See.
Well, he's made Beer and Bread. It's a 2-player game, but it's not. They're not all in the Tiny Epic line. And
no. He's made tons of games.
Yeah.
Although Spielworks games are typically more complex and dry. This one isn't dry at all.
It's definitely not. This is about distilling liquors.
I get it. About crunkiness. Yeah.
There's been a few more of the games from this theme, right? You got distilled, and I don't know. It seems like this is becoming a more popular theme. I've heard this term, this Angel Share, before. I can't remember what it is, but it's a
traditional term for volume.
You lose in
is that what it is?
In evaporation.
In the evaporation, okay.
That's the Angel Share of the alcohol.
I gotcha. Okay.
That's pretty impressive. You knew that.
Yeah, you never heard that.
Or did you read it here?
No. I just know.
I don't know nothing about whiskey.
I just know that term. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, this looks interesting. Spielworks makes a specific kind of game. You already kind of should know if this piques your interest or not. Scott Alms doing a game with Spielworks. This is the interesting thing here.
That is interesting to me, too.
And again, Scott Alms is incredibly prolific, and he's got games of all sorts of shapes and sizes. But I can't remember quickly, anyway, one that I would immediately say, that fits in a Spielworks production.
Right. No.
So this is intriguing to me. I like that. I like that.
All right, here's the cover for the new Great Western Trail, New Zealand.
This is 3 now?
This is the third. Yeah, you had Argentina was the most recent one.
What, did they give a subtitle to the first one when they got printed in this
I just
line?
think it was second edition. I think it was just Great Western Trail second edition.
And then
you had Argentina, and now New Zealand. And from what I understand, Argentina raised the complexity a little bit. It added markets that you could ship things to, and I'm sure New Zealand will. I don't particularly like Great Western Trail, so I didn't really have an interest in these reiterations of it. But I know that a lot of people love the game. This is coming out of Gen Con, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's another blind spot for me, unfortunately. Though, to be fair, Alexander Pfister is a bit hit or miss for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try this, the original. I mean, New Zealand.
Okay.
I go to the source there. Try the first one.
All right, Diced Veggies. This is coming from Kids Table Board Games.
That's an interesting cover.
Yeah.
I really like it, actually.
That's a little creepy when you stop and think about the fact that if you slice into your carrot, there's a die face in it, depending where you cut it.
But this could have been done much worse with other games that have dice in them.
I mean, I guess the veggies could be coming at you, yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever. I like this. I like Josh Capel's artwork anyway.
I do too.
And I like the production of Kids Table Board Games. This looks like a very light game. 30 minutes. I wonder if it's a...
This is going to be one of those little ones, I bet.
You think?
Yeah. This seems like one of those little ones they put out. Like the one with the bugs or the ants or something. That's a fairly small box.
Yeah.
You're slicing away dice from a pile on the cutting board.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's coming out. They'll be pre-released at Gen Con.
Let's go.
We're going to be saying Gen Con a lot over news in the next several
I think
weeks.
you're right.
Ooh.
Gosh, I love the
Yokai
look of that.
Sketch. So this artwork, which is clearly done by Vincent Dutray, and a very, very patient primate there, getting sketched by those kids. That's a great picture.
It's
it really is.
Great cover. 2-player game in this DeVere line, small box DeVere line.
Is that not a primate?
It looks like it is to me.
Does it have a tail?
It's called the elusive yokai. I don't. Maybe, is that like
yokai is a spirit. It's a Japanese spirit.
Got it. Okay.
And I want to say that this is in the same kind of universe. Maybe this isn't in the Batoku universe, but it sure kind of has a little bit of that look. I don't know. Anyway.
This is a small 2-player set collection game where you're putting cards, sketch cards, you're sliding under 4 decks in the middle, and if it reaches or exceeds the number of sketches needed to draw it, the person who has the most sketches claims the card. If there's a tie, it's scared off and no one wins the card.
Okay.
Sounds a little Lost Cities-esque, maybe in that range, but I'm okay with that.
I'm down for this.
Sounds a little bit like Mamma Mia, actually.
That's what I thought too, but I think you can see this stuff.
Okay. Interesting. Again, that sounds different. Like, I can't picture what that game plays like in my head, and that's intriguing to me. Yeah. Look, cool. That monkey, I guess, again, spirit yokai. It's kind of creepy looking.
I think there's a lot of times they are a little bit creepy. Does it not seem like DeVere is upping their release schedule lately?
Yes.
I've had a soft spot for them for a while, so it's very nice to see. I don't know, just to see them be able to put out more things, better looking things.
Right.
There's more promise, coming from DeVere.
Yeah.
Very happy about that.
All right. Wasn't expecting this next piece of news. We got a game called Misconceptions from Rabble Games Studio, but actually, it's created by Bud Light Seltzer.
It's a partnership with Bud Light Seltzer, apparently.
I'm sure you are waiting for this one to happen.
Bud Light's a pretty good designer, I will say.
I will say that. They taste great and they're less filling.
Anyway, you're separating facts from misconceptions, but some cards are added by the other team to confuse you. That sounds a little interesting. Basically, the whole joke is here, Bud Light Seltzer is not alcoholic.
No, it is alcoholic.
It is alcoholic.
It's just not beer. It's a seltzer.
So I shouldn't have drunk it yesterday.
Correct, you should not have. If you were wondering, why you were walking strangely, it's because that seltzer was 80 proof.
80 proof?
Probably not.
So anyhow, I am the angel.
Yeah.
I got my share.
You got your angel share. I don't know. I mean, it's a party game, and the party game itself might be fine, but I'm wondering, is this going to be like, where are they going to be selling this? Is it going to be like in
at the liquor store that's
what I'm
attached
saying. Like, is it going to be like
at the counter?
You
Right.
could sell this at like a Walmart or a
think?
Target. Yeah,
Sure, I just think it's
yeah.
funny. That would be a great place. I don't think board games have ever been sold at one of those little attached liquor stores.
Yeah. I mean, it works, and I'm assuming it has to be basic enough that you can play drunk. But to be
Right.
fair, how many Bud Light seltzers do you
Oh
have
my
to have
gosh,
to get
there's
drunk?
a Spuds McKenzie reference in the chat. Wow.
Spuds McKenzie.
Okay, so I've never been in one of those stores. Do those stores have
Aw.
anything in them besides alcohol?
Liquor stores?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have snacks and
They
things
have
like
some
that.
snacks, yeah.
They'll usually have like
Some olives.
cigarettes and things like that too. But yeah, usually snacks.
They don't have board games.
They do not have board games. Now,
I'd be like, wow, I need to go in there.
some of them will have branded clothing, like shirts and hats by these different companies and stuff.
Hey, it makes sense. I could see it happen.
Yeah.
It'd be the first.
Yeah, I can see
But
it.
also, I'm expecting this to be more at like a Target type setting.
Probably, or maybe even a Barnes and Noble.
So
I
it's
don't know.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. 3,000 Scoundrels has free solo content for the 10 of you who still play this game.
Tom
This
doesn't
is-
care.
This is interesting.
I liked this game, and I'm going to
All right,
try
calm
this.
down, defensive.
No, I'm going to
Okay.
try this.
I already
This man's
gave-
some 80 proof.
I gave him grief earlier.
You did give me grief.
I love, this is one of the best art. I think this was my
Yeah.
number one of the year, actually. Great art. I like the concept of this game. I just felt like it wasn't fully fleshed out.
I liked it the most of anyone, I think, in the studio. But
My only big beef with this was scoring, honestly.
Yeah.
Scoring was boring. It was like it ended up being much to do about nothing at the end when it was like 6 points, 8. Okay.
I think it's
but the
group dependent.
gameplay and the interesting
Yeah.
mechanism of combining stuff, hiring those
Yeah.
people, very cool. Now this though, automa rules, solitaire rules. That's very intriguing to
Yeah,
me.
me too.
I might have to give Mike a little leeway here and say that this might be acceptable.
Zee has your back.
This might be acceptable.
all right.
Okay, I wouldn't immediately throw up in
There you
Mike's
go.
direction.
Sure. You'd have to have some
Is
projectile
this
happen.
next piece of news, though, acceptable?
Let's
Let me
find
see
out.
it. What is it?
So Catan now has
Oh, boy.
a football or soccer expansion because the world was begging for this. Is this a Ted Lasso effect?
I wonder. Well, it also is the effect of soccer being the most popular sport in the world by far, and it's not
in
even
Catan.
close.
Okay? They play rugby down there.
Anyway,
so doesn't this kind of
What is
give you a
this?
vibe of like the catapult in
Yes.
Carcassonne?
So
Just
here's-
adding a
Well, I don't
silly
know how it
dexterity.
works.
let me explain.
Go ahead,
This is great.
Explain.
So whenever you build a settlement or city in Catan,
Yes.
then you'll compete in a football match.
Right.
You're going to flick a multicolored, multi-sided token towards the goal.
I hate
If it
this.
goes into the goal, you get a point. Player with the most points will gain benefits that can be used in the main game.
I hate it.
This is definitely the catapult.
This is so
for sure.
stupid.
It's
It's
a
also
silly
like
dexterity element.
it's also the catapult with more rules.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's way more rules. Catapult was stupid, but at least I knew what I was getting. Put a dude in a catapult, flick him onto Carcassonne. Wherever he lands, he stays.
When I first heard about this, I thought it was its own game.
Sure.
Like, oh, it's a Catan, soccer,
Soccer
whatever. And I was
thing,
like,
yeah.
okay, that's dumb, but
Right.
I'd play it. I have no interest in this. Like, why would I stop Catan to have a mini dexterity game?
Even if I loved soccer, which I don't, but even if I did, this seems like an ill-advised combination. Why would I want to, if I'm escaping to Catan and building up my settlement and settling this land, this makes no sense to me. What? Somebody said in the comment, the hardest of passes, and I have to agree.
Which is almost a pun.
Right, yeah, because you have to pass on the field, on the pitch.
I don't know how soccer
They call it
works,
the
okay?
pitch, Z.
What?
It's called
No,
the
that's
pitch.
that's definitely baseball.
No, it's football, soccer.
No,
It's on the pitch.
No.
All right.
There's one thing that Ted Lasso taught me. This looks great.
We got a bunch of Funko
Ooh,
stuff
let's
coming
go.
for
Here
you.
we
This
go,
is the one that
finally.
looks good. Of all them,
I don't know about Funko these days. They seem to
know.
be making less and less.
They make big-headed
I
toys.
agree,
Let's go.
but I think this looks great.
Okay, yeah,
Just
this
this
is
picture, anyway.
So they're all Disney games coming here.
Okay.
This is a cooperative 2 to 4 player game in which you are trying to produce. You're a production team trying to produce 5 of the classic Disney animated movies.
Okay.
But villains are going to try to block you. It almost sounds like a spin on Villainous.
Except it's cooperative. Correct?
That's the word spin. Tell hit him with it.
Does it not say
It is cooperative,
Yeah,
yes.
it's cooperative. Yeah. So I don't know. I like that this is leaning into the classic Walt Disney. Like
Yeah.
to me, this is when I think Walt Disney, I think this. I think this font. I think this look. This is giving me heavy kind of like nostalgia vibes.
Look at
whereas
two
I'm not a
nostalgic.
big-
Notice that on the bottom there, you see Aladdin.
No, I know, but I think of Aladdin as part of the classic Disney. I really do. And I'm not even a huge Disney person.
So you're saying non-Pixar's classic Disney?
Pretty much.
Kind of. And
Well,
I
no,
have
I'm just asking him to clarify.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with. I mean, Pixar's had some amazing films. So I'm saying when I think of Disney,
Don't speak against Pixar.
this
I don't want
kind
to
of
lose all our
I don't know.
viewers.
I think this looks classy. That's the word I'm looking for.
I agree with that. This might be a really neat game. And again, if you're going to play around in a Disney sandbox, I think this is a good way to do it. Put together classic pictures. Aladdin, The Lion King, Little Mermaid. Those are all going to be in there probably.
Right.
Yeah, there's going to be some serious amounts of nostalgia here
Right.
for those good old, wonderful days of that hand-drawn Disney animation.
Now, to Tom's point, if this came out 2 years ago, I'd be over the moon excited because at that point, Prospero Hall had put out nothing but bangers. There's been a couple of, not as good. So let's hope.
This is Prospero Hall,
Yes, I believe so, right?
because sometimes
that what it says on
Funko
there,
doesn't
Tom?
necessarily work with.
Can you read the?
No, Prospero Hall was bought by Funko.
Yeah, but this is
Okay.
this is by that design team,
Right.
Prospero Hall design.
Yeah, there is a few things from Funko that are not Prospero Hall. It's a little
Right.
confusing.
Yeah, they did some stuff with Ravensburger, right?
Well, Prospero Hall did stuff with other
Yeah,
companies,
right.
and then they were bought by by Funko. But some of those games were already in the works.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
anyway, there's been a little bit of inconsistency over the last year or so, but I'm cautiously optimistic for this one. I think it looks great.
All right, next we have Sinister Spoons. Here we are. All right.
What? Oh, this is so lame.
Yeah, it's a party game, right?
I'm
for kids.
assuming this is based on spoons.
I'm gonna guess that is spoons.
If nothing else, if this game is terrible, your kids have 4 fun spoons to eat cereal
There
with.
you go. That's
You think
right.
they'll be usable?
They look usable in that picture.
Yeah. This looks really
I don't know, those
stupid.
handles would be pretty hard to.
Wow.
Oh, that's
This is talk
true.
about like going from something that sounds really interesting to basically themed spoons.
Wait,
Right.
wait. We also have
Let's go to Cracker Barrel and pick up.
Pixar. Pixar, you said you like Pixar.
I love Pixar.
Pixar
I would never
cars.
speak
But
against
this
them.
is for
Launch
little.
and race.
This
no,
is for
it
little
says launch
kids.
and race, huh?
This is for little ones. I think this could be cute for little kids.
As long
So
as I can play spoons with it.
3+.
color matching, counting, fine. Actually, I would get this.
Yeah, for little
well,
ones.
you're
Give me a couple years. I got a grandkid. I can start playing all the
Right.
little kids games again.
Right.
It's gonna loop. I'm looping.
Loop-de-loop.
And then finally, something wild.
Have you played any of these games, Tom? There have been a number of them.
Wild?
No,
No,
I
this
haven't.
whole series, this Something Wild series, there's got to be like 15 of them already.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not heard of
And
this.
this
What
is
is
the Steamboat Willie one. I don't know. It's a little card game. They sell them at Target. And they all come with these little figures. I don't know. It looks very Uno-esque to me, but I have no idea what the actual gameplay is. I think we've gotten maybe one that's come through the studio. I don't remember. But
don't
No,
remember
we
this
never
at
had one
all.
come
we
to the
never
studio.
did? Okay.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, does it...
I'm assuming it's a very basic game. You're
I would
creating
think so,
sets and
right?
runs
Okay.
of cards. Maybe it's a
All right.
rummy-esque game.
Yeah, yeah.
Cute. Looks very cute. Plus, you got a cute little
You get a little
Steamboat
figure,
Willie.
yeah. And yeah, I think they've not all been classic Disney figures, but I think they've all been Disney properties, if I remember right. I'm not positive.
All right, the Crypto has a 5th anniversary edition coming that will add new words to the game. That's
Is that about it?
basically it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it shows that people are still interested into crypto, I suppose.
One of those party games that's lasted. Every year when we do Dice Tower Awards party games, I go, there's one of those we'll be talking about in 10 years.
Right, that's true.
And Decrypto is the one from that year, whatever. Well, 5 years ago. All right. And Jen, the board game librarian, many of you know her. She's been a segment on our show. Was on the news.
Yeah.
And WFSB in Connecticut.
Yep, she lives in Connecticut and is a librarian there. That's kind of her thing on our channel, as a board game librarian. And so this is neat that they interviewed her about the big, I think she has 1,000+ games at her library.
In that library, I don't know, that's probably the biggest in the world.
Sure,
I would assume.
seems like it, right?
That's cool.
I would bet it's the best curated one in the world.
Right, and she's been very vocal with publishers saying, look, this is...
By the way, this happened in January.
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't mention it earlier.
Exactly. But yeah, this is a market is the wrong word, but it's a what's the word?
Promote it.
Graphic?
Publishers need to probably be thinking about, hey, if you want to expose people to your games, libraries are a great...
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great delivery system. It's a repository of knowledge. You want your game to get out to more people. Put them in libraries. Absolutely.
Right.
Put them in places where everybody can have access to it.
If you want gaming to be more accessible, right?
And acceptable is the other thing, too. It's not just access.
Right.
It's stigma. A lot of gaming, and people generally consider gaming to be child's play.
Right.
Or super annoying family time.
Right.
Because that's what you've had in the past 100 years, right? It's for children, or it is for adults, but you hate it. You're almost meant to hate it. You know, so that you have some stories about how, oh my goodness, I got stuck in this 5-hour game where I just wanted to slap everyone.
Right.
And that's horrible. It's a horrible stigma that gets attached to it. So absolutely, make this available to people that can just poke at it without having to invest.
Right.
Open it up, look at it, see where games are at now, and maybe have a new story told in the future, you know?
Absolutely.
So I agree, this is great. Great Day needs to interview me. It's not at 9 a.m., it's too early.
That's right.
Do they have like a Great Day at noon?
It would be great afternoon at that point.
9 a.m. now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I couldn't possibly go on there now.
You probably should.
Let me just second that. You should not be on camera at 9 a.m.
Let me,
that's self-evident.
All right. And then finally, the Association of Games and Puzzles International, AGPI, they put out a magazine, which I found in the past. Anyway, this is super self-serving, and I apologize. They're having a convention in 6 weeks, and I'm getting an award there. This is the only time I'm going to mention this. But I do want to push this. So it's in West Palm Beach. Is it West Palm Beach? It's in...
I get this, Tom, and I'm going to give you advice that I would not take myself.
Don't
West
go.
Palm Beach.
No, I'm not. That's not it. You should. I feel like you should accept this award.
Well, I'm going to.
In the spirit in which it's being given, and don't feel like you need to downplay it. I mean, you've obviously been a part of this hobby for many years, and accept the award and feel good for yourself. You should.
It's a major award.
It is a major award. I put that in there because Tom was very hesitant to even put this in the news. I'm like, well, we'll counter it a little bit with some.
Well, Justin Jacobson will also be there.
Yeah.
And several other people giving different speeches, and it's a different group of people. It's definitely a slightly older bunch because they play. You know, they're also about puzzles and things like that. I've met a few of these people in the past. It sounds like these people. I met a few folks who are this, and you can see I'm showing you guys the magazine here.
Right.
And they talk about old games. They talk about puzzles and things like that. I find that to be interesting.
No, it's neat.
Ooh, look at this. Puzzle less than seniors.
Okay.
Wow.
I was thinking of maybe I would go and we'll see it in person.
Yeah.
I think I'll just read about it on the.
No, but there they are talking about old games.
I'll check it out when they talk about it on Great Day at 9 a.m.
That's right.
Game rooms, the Puzzler book review.
Yeah.
This looks cool, man. Do we get to go and cheer you on?
No, I'm
Let me
taking Laura.
rephrase that. Do we have to go?
Alrighty.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. And
Well, folks,
congratulations.
thank you. That's the news.